Brothers, sisters, respected elders, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'm going to be talking about Salatul Layl. Allah in the Quran, in the first few ayahs of Surah Mutaffifin, He says, O you who believe, rise to pray the night prayers. My dear brothers and sisters, let's look on how important it is to pray Salatul Layl. Some scholars say that an hour before Salatul Fajr, Allah opens a special and divine door. This door is for those who wake up and establish Salatul Layl. Allama Tabatabai, when he went for further studies in Najaf, his mentor Allama Qadi advised him, O Tabatabai, if you desire the good of this world, establish night prayers. Likewise, if you desire the good of the hereafter, establish night prayers. All Muslims seeking to get closer to Allah do so by praying Salatul Layl. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sat next to the Imam one day and said, O Ali, safeguard three things. Number 1, night prayers. Number 2, night prayers. And finally, number 3, night prayers. This hadith signifies the importance and power of night prayers. I will now look at the benefits of Salatul Layl according to the Ahlul Bayt. The first benefit of Salatul Layl is, this is most important during the holy month of Ramadan. Allah will provide rizq. My fellow brothers and sisters, what are we waiting for? Why are we hesitant to pray Salatul Layl? Number 2, Allah will be pleased and your status will be elevated in the eyes of Allah. We can learn this from Sayyidah Zainab in the holy land of Karbala. On the eve of Ashura, everyone in the campsite of Abu Abdullah engrossed in Salatul Layl. If you do Salatul Layl, you will become more cherished and loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 3, the sins that you commit during the day are forgiven, so long as you are able to wake up and pray Salatul Layl. This is an opportunity we can't let pass. The fourth benefit is, Allah will give you a good ending. All of us desire to have a good ending, not only in the eyes of the people, but also in the eyes of Allah. The final tradition according to the Ahlul Bayt is, the doors of Rahmah will open up for you. One major way on how us Shias can approach Salatul Layl is, we can look after ourselves during the day. As Allama Tabatabai always used to say, I looked after myself during the day, and as a result, I benefited more during the night. Salawat.
Ya Ali. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد. We've reached the 11th night of this holy month. It's passing very fast. We're also nearing the end of this beautiful dua. And let's see what the dua has in the lines for us today. The line that we begin with is Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa alihi wa matti'ni bil iqtisad. The Imam says, oh Allah, give me the blessing, give me the provision of being a person that exercises moderation. What does moderation mean? So one meaning of moderation, the Imam is saying that this is something, if you give it to me, it will be a cause for me to have ease. Matti' means that it brings ease to me, that I can benefit from it. Some people say moderation means always go for the middle path. If you have something to do in life, one side is one extreme, the other side is the other extreme, you go for the middle. For example, in war, one type of person is scared and has the trait of being a coward. One type of person is so ruthless that they don't pay attention to who's in front of them, what they're doing, how they attack them, nothing. They just go and attack. The middle path is what? Not to be a coward, but also to be somebody that exercises their intellect. This sounds good. Or for example, you see some people, when it comes to, for example, certain eating habits or lifestyle habits, let's say exercise. Some people say no exercise. Some people say every day 2 hours of exercise, 3 hours of exercise. Again, let's go for the middle path, right? Twice a week, 3 times a week, do exercise. So this sounds like something logical. And some people have tried to explain this sentence like this: moderation. The problem comes up when we say that when it comes to the remembrance of Allah, one group of people say that forget about Allah. One group of people say try and remember Allah throughout your life. What should we do? We go for the middle path. Remember Allah sometimes. Didn't make sense, right? An enemy is attacking. Give him all of our land. Give him none of our land. What's the middle path? Give him some of our land. Again, this doesn't make sense. So the middle path, as scholars explain, itself cannot be the right path at all times. We have to define what the two sides are. That will help us define the right path. Now, so this isn't a good explanation for this. Our scholars have come in the explanation in the tafsir of this dua and said that moderation doesn't mean just the middle path at all times. This is a misconception in society, right? You say, these people are extreme, let's go for the middle path. But that middle path, is it the correct path or not? That's what we need to analyze. So now what does moderation mean? And we have this in other du'as, other ahadith. The beautiful khutbah of Imam Ali, khutbatul muttaqeen. A very powerful khutbah. In fact, it's so powerful that when the companion heard this khutbah, by the end, he fell down and passed away. He gave his life. That's how strong this khutbah is. In this, when Imam Ali is explaining and describing the pious ones, he says that their clothes and the attire they have is malbasuhum al-iqtisad. They pick something that's moderate to wear. Now, let's try and understand what moderate means. What does moderate mean? The scholars say that, look, in our life we have different needs. We have a physical body, we have a spiritual existence, we need socializing, we need time to relax, we need leisure, we need companionship. We have so many different needs. Moderation is when you live your life in a way that you pay attention to all of your needs. When we have the hadith from our first Imam, Imam Ali alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, where he says that you'll never see an ignorant person except that he's excessive, he does too much, he goes to this extreme, or he does too little, he comes to this extreme. This is what it means. That if a person in their life acts in a way that they only pay attention to their physical body, they only pay attention to their health, they only pay attention to their spiritual existence, even this is wrong. And we'll speak about this, that if somebody pays attention only to their spiritual existence, who is going to be able to fast? If you say that I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to go for leisure, I'm not going to do any sports or exercise, the body isn't able to do anything. That's why Allah has said that we have to have moderation. Means what? Means in every part of our life we do the amount that's suitable. This is what moderation means. A person who has iqtisad, a person who has this moderation in their life, means a person who takes care of everything. Example, giving charity. If I don't give charity at all, I don't get the thawab for it, I don't get the spiritual benefit of it. But if I give too much charity, what happens? My own money is affected. I'm not able to cover my own expenses. So I've compromised on one of the dimensions that's very important for a human being. So this is an explanation of وَمَتِّعْنِي بِالْإِقْتِصَادِ. The Imam is saying if we pay attention to all of our needs, then we will have that enjoyment and we will enjoy life. Now this requires planning, right? We have to see what are the needs of my body, what are the needs of me being a social person, what are the needs of my leisure. All of these we need to analyze and plan for. وَمَتِّعْنِي بِالْإِقْتِصَادِ وَجَعَلْنِي مِنْ أَهْلِ السِّدَادِ. Make me amongst those people that are the people of the firm truth. Sadad means that truth. Sadda in Arabic means to block, means it's so firm that it stands still. They call a dam sad. Sad because it holds the water. It's very, you've seen a dam, right? That holds the water behind the lake. It's very firm. Sadad means the thing that is very firm, the truth that's very firm. This has a very beautiful lesson for us in our life. A very, very beautiful lesson. What is that? Often we see that in our life, we're not confident about what we're doing. We're not sure about what we're doing. The reality is that either this thing that I'm doing is correct, it's according to what Allah has instructed me, my intellect says this is correct. If that's the case, then do it and stand firm. And if it's not correct, then don't do it. But often we can't have this clear decision. We're not sure, is this correct, is this not correct? Or sometimes we know it's not correct, but we don't have that ability to step down from it. If we become people that follow the truth wherever the truth is, this itself brings confidence to a person. Even if the whole world, and this is very important for our children, even if the whole world wants to say a certain opinion, when I know I have the truth with me, what does it concern me? If everyone in the world was to gather right now and tell me that it's still daytime outside, the whole world, but I can see it's nighttime, I'm sure. I don't have a doubt in it. This brings about this sense of confidence. This makes me resilient and resistant in the face of challenges. There's a question that we have, right? That our children, ourselves, in a society that's largely non-Muslim, how do we stay strong? One of the secrets is right here. Min ahli sadad. Be amongst those, know what you're doing. Find out, is this right or wrong? And if it's right, stand by it. If it's wrong, don't stand by it, leave it. Maybe you've seen, for example, in certain meetings, and this comes up for men and women, where there's different types of Muslims and the stage they're presenting an award, and they have to go up and collect this award. When they're going up on stage, there's 5 or 6 Muslims, and there's a na-mahram that they must shake their hand, it's a dignitary, to collect this award. You see people, generally, they're a bit hesitant, and in the end they'll stick out their hand quickly, so it doesn't get caught on camera, and they quickly collect the award and leave. But you see some people, they're so sure that this is wrong. They put their hand on their chest, they explain the person, thank you very much, I appreciate. You see that strength inside them. When you see this, you say, mashallah, wah wah. You see this, you see strength. When a person is sure about the truth, this is how they become. Min ahli sadat. This is something that we must inculcate in ourselves and our children. There's a lot of different examples that can be given for this, but I'll leave that to you. وَمِنْ أَدِلَّةِ الرَّشَادِ. Oh Allah, make me amongst those people that become not only people that have reached guidance, not only people that are growing, but people that guide other people towards growth. This is a big dua. That, oh Allah, make me amongst those reasons and those signs that take people towards growth. Allahumma inna narghabu ilayka fi dawlatin karima. We read this. تعز بها الإسلام وأهله وتذل بها النفاق وأهله وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك. Make me amongst those people that call people towards your obedience. It's a very big dua. And by the way, this, in the different levels of it, is not restricted to only scholars. In our own level, in our own environment, we can also guide people towards the truth. Of course, we must be careful. We shouldn't take out fatwa and give our opinions over here and there. But, for example, the basic guidance, we can be people that guide people to the true path. وَمِن صَالِحِ الْعِبَادِ. All of these big traits, and then we say that, make us amongst your righteous servants. I mentioned at the start, the first and the second day, being a servant of Allah is the real key to success. That's why I mentioned, we say in Tashahhud, Abduhu wa Rasuluh. First, he's the servant of Allah. Even when our first Imam used to write his letters, he would write, Min Amir al-Mu'mineen, Min Abdullah Amir al-Mu'mineen. First, he would say, I'm the servant of Allah. Yes, I'm also Amir al-Mu'mineen. But first, I'm the servant of Allah. Min salih al-ibad, warzuqni fawz al-ma'ad. We pray so much for our success in this world. Oh Allah, give me Gadi, give me Gar, give me all of these things, which is good. We should pray for these things, as long as it's in the right scale with the right goal. But here we're praying for that other house. Remember we spoke about the two houses? Here we're praying for our real house. Give me success in the hereafter. This is the real dua that we should have. وَسَلَامَةَ الْمِرْصَادِ. Mirsad means a place where you can see your enemy. You can see somebody and you can scout somebody that they're coming. In the Quran, one of the metaphors the Quran uses is that Allah is in such a position. Now what does this mean? This means that when we can't even see Allah, He is seeing us. He knows what we're doing. And help me to cross over this path that Allah watches with peace and in ease, without any difficulties. The next set of lines, Allahumma, subhanAllah, these du'as is near the end now. But the beautiful du'as of the Imam are really, if we pay attention to these, this talk is just a chance for us to have the meaning run through our mind quickly. Otherwise, we have to think about these. One of the mu'mineen mentioned that what if after every night when I'm reading 4 or 3 lines, we went and pondered over these later. It's just 3 lines. Today, we spoke about a few things. It's not a complicated concept. Basic concepts that can change our life. Allahumma khudh li nafsika min nafsi ma yukhallisuha. This has 2 ways of explaining it, our scholars mention. I'll explain both. Allahumma khudh li nafsika min nafsi ma yukhallisuha. The first way is to say that Allah, look, me, I'm a weak human being. I can't sort myself out without your help. I will do my effort. I will try my best. But in reality, Allah, you must come and purify me. What does that mean? It means that Allah, anything that's inside me that shouldn't be there, anything you see that I can't even see, I'm negligent of, greed, envy, anything that you see, pride. Allah, anything that you see inside me that shouldn't be there, you remove it. Allahumma khudh li nafsika, take away for yourself from me what will purify me. Wa abqi li nafsi min nafsi ma yuslihuha, and keep from within me that which will be there to correct me. The traits that should be there, the traits that I should have, oh Allah, keep these within me. Such a beautiful dua. It gathers the whole dua together. Allah, we mentioned all the traits, we mentioned all the makarimul akhlaq, the virtues of characteristics and traits. But Allah, my dua is a general one for you. Anything that I shouldn't have, take it from me. Sometimes when you go to a mechanic, we speak like this to a mechanic. You say to the mechanic, look, me, I don't know this car, what it does, what it doesn't do. You are the mechanic. Take the car. Anything that's a problem in this car, take it out. Anything that needs to be in the car, keep it in the car. You take over this path. This is one meaning of this line that the ulama have explained. Another beautiful meaning, which is also very profound, it says, we say to Allahumma khudh li nafsik. The attention in this part of this explanation is that for yourself. Allah, anything that's taking me towards you, anything that's to do with your connection, make me indulge in this fully. Make me go into this fully. Anything that's to do with the akhirah, make me completely go towards it. Completely throw myself into that. But then what about this dunya? What about this life? وَأَبْقِي لِنَفْسِي مِن نَفْسِي مَا يُصْلِحُهَا. Just that amount that I require for the 6 months or 1 year in this small house, the rented house, oh Allah, keep that for me. The amount that I need to survive, I need the basic necessities, the amenities of life, oh Allah, keep those for me. There's a beautiful way of looking. Both very profound explanations of this dua, but look at the last part of this sentence. Subhanallah. فَإِنَّ نَفْسِي هَالِكَةٌ أَوْ تَعْصِمُهَا. This translation, I'll try and translate it exactly as the Arabic is. The Imam says, Wallah, my nafs, it is definitely going towards being destroyed. It is going towards destruction. My nafs on its own will take me astray. فَإِنَّ نَفْسِي هَالِكَةٌ. My nafs is going in that direction. أَوْ تَعْصِمُهَا. Or you protect it. There's two options. Either you protect it and I'm safe, or you leave me alone and I'm gone. Now, if you want to see this in a real instance, in a real story, you find in the story of Prophet Yusuf. When Prophet Yusuf was thrown in the well by his brothers and he was taken as a slave, and then the chance for haram came up for him. Over here, he avoided the sin. Later on, many years later, when he's being tried in court, and he proves his innocence, that look, I didn't have anything to do with this sin. Over there, this many years later, he says, I avoided this sin? No. He says, I cannot purify my nafs from this sin. If it was me alone, I might have fallen into this sin. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي. The same concept over here. Prophet Yusuf, at such a level, he says that if it's up to me, if I'm on my own, oh Allah, my nafs orders me towards bad, orders me towards evil. إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي. Except for the instances where you have mercy on me. Now, imagine yourself in this situation. You're entering the world, trying to fight all of the sins, trying to stay away from any sins that are in front of us. If we think that I'm going to do this on my own, I have the strength, فَإِنَّ نَفْسِي هَالِكَةٌ وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ. But if we say, oh Allah, I'm trying, but you know I'm weak. You know this gunah, this thing that I'm trying to avoid, I'm trying to control my anger, I'm trying to control my desires, I'm trying to control my jealousy, I'm trying to control all of these things. But Allah, I need your help. I'll do my part, but I need your help. I need your assistance. فَإِنَّ نَفْسِي هَالِكَةٌ أَوْ تَعْصِمُهَا إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي. This is the way to achieve success. That we say to Allah, I'm trying, but Allah, who am I? What can I do? Does that mean I try less? No. Does that mean I strive this much less than I can? No. I have to strive as much as I can. But I place my trust in Allah's hands. It's a beautiful relationship that on one side I have to strive, but on the other side I place my trust in the hands of Allah. فَإِنَّ نَفْسِي هَالِكَةٌ أَوْ تَعْصِمُهَا. This is the way to purify ourselves. If we want to purify ourselves, we have to strive, but we have to beg Allah. That's why these teachings have come in the form of a dua. The Imam is constantly begging Allah, begging Allah, begging Allah, begging Allah. Because the Imam knows the reality of the human being. فَإِنَّ نَفْسِي هَالِكَةٌ أَوْ تَعْصِمُهَا. There's no third option. Either you protect me, or I'm going towards destruction. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ. This is what the Ahlul Bayt and the Holy Quran teach us. The last part of the dua for today, Allahumma anta uddati in hazint. Oh Allah, you are the thing that I've prepared. You are the thing that I've put forward for times when I am sad. When I am going through a difficult time, I have grief, I have sorrow. Oh Allah, you are the thing that I have put forward. Udda comes from adad. Adada means to prepare. Udda is, they say, to the provision that you take on a journey. Sahman that you take on a journey, it's called udda. You're the thing that I've prepared for times when it's difficult for me. Who do we turn to when times are difficult? Not this one and that one. We have to turn to Allah. Of course, we must go to the doctor, we must go to these people because Allah has instructed us, but our trust is in Allah. وَأَنْتَ مُنْتَجِعِي إِنْ حُرِمْتَ When I'm deprived, when I'm kept away from something, the place of hope is in you, O Allah. وَبِكَ إِسْتِغَاثَتِي إِن كَرِثْتُ. Karatha means when grief is so much, it piles upon each other. This is called karitha. Allah, when I have this state of in karithtu, when I'm in this state, you are the one that I call out to. These are practical instructions. These are not for us to sit here and listen to and when a difficulty comes up, forget about. These are what we need to turn to. All of us, if right now you were to ask everyone over here, that do you have some sort of difficulty in life? Of course. Everybody. There's nobody that in this life lives with that complete ease. There's always going to be difficulties. But the person we must turn to, the reality we must connect to in these times is Allah. Why? وَعِندَكَ مِمَّا فَاتَ خَلَفْ. If anything I lose, O Allah, you have better to replace. I may lose something, but Allah has better to replace it. وَلِمَا فَسَدَ الصَّلَاحِ. The thing that faces an issue, that there is some sort of problem with, Allah, you have the ability to correct it. وَفِيمَا أَنْكَرْتَ تَغْيِيرٌ. And the things that you can change, the things that which is bad, the problems, the things that you see has an issue, you have the ability to change it. Does anyone else in the world have an ability to change the problems that we're going through, to pull us through these problems other than Allah? No. Allah and the people that He's told us to go to, the Ahlul Bayt. فَمْنُنْ عَلَيَّ قَبْلَ الْبَلَاءِ بِالْعَافِيَةِ. Allah, before I get a tribulation, before I get a problem, give me that ease and that safety and that peace, afiyah. وَقَبْلَ الطَّلَبِ بِالْجِدَةِ. Before I have to ask, give me what I want before I even have to ask you. وَقَبْلَ الضَّلَالِ بِالرَّشَادِ. Before I go astray, Allah, give me guidance. وَكْفِنِي مَؤُونَةَ مَعَرَّةِ الْعِبَادِ. Save me from the troubles of people. Save me from these troubles. وَهَبْ لِي أَمْنَ يَوْمِ الْمَعَادِ. Give me security. When do we want security? Security on the day of judgment. On that day when security, you can't call a security force to come. The security on that day is what we've done in this life. وَامْنَحْنِي حُسْنَ الْإِرْشَادِ. Give me the ability to guide others in the best of ways. Being the night of Thursday, I thought we'll just remember one scene from the day of Karbala in line with the dua. When we talked about وَجْعَلْنِي مِنْ أَهْلِ السَّدَادِ. Make me amongst those people that are firm on the truth. This is something that throughout the day of Ashura and even before that you see. There's one instance where on the way to Karbala, Imam Hussein alayhi salam recites the verse of Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. His son Ali al-Akbar turns to him and he says, "Oh father, why are you reciting this verse?" And he says, "Oh Ali, I see that we are a caravan that's going towards death. But look at the beautiful training that this son of the Imam has." He turns to his father and he says, "Oh my father, are we not on the right path?" And the Imam says, "Of course we are on the right path." And then he says this line that history is shaken by this line. He says, إِذَنْ لَا نُبَالِي بِالْمَوْتِ. If we're on the right path, I don't care about death. Death doesn't bother me. Death doesn't put any fear in me. And you see on the 10th of Muharram, Ali Akbar proved this. When he went out in the heart of the enemy, such a man stood so strongly in front of the face of these spears, arrows, swords. He stood and defended everything that was of value, and he gave everything he had in his way. When he fell to the floor and his father came to his body, you can see how great this son of the Imam was. What did his father say? It's mentioned in certain hadith that the Imam crawled towards the body of his son. And he placed his cheek upon the cheek of his son. And he called out, "Waladi Ali, oh my dear son Ali, ala dunya ba'daka al-afa." After you, oh my son, this world has nothing left. There's nothing left in this world. Look at how this man was, look at how valiant this son of our Imam was. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. We pray to Allah on this night of Thursday, the night of dua, the night of remembering our holy Imam, the night of the ziyarah of our Imam. We pray earnestly to Allah. We implore and beg Allah, oh Allah, forgive all of our sins. Oh Allah, this month is going fast. If you don't forgive us, then where else can we go? Oh Allah, help us get rid of all of these illnesses, all these spiritual illnesses we have. Oh Allah, help us. We want to overcome them. Oh Allah, on this night of Thursday, forgive all of those who've passed away, especially the marhumeen of those who are seated over here. Oh Allah, give health and well-being to all of those who are unwell, and support and tawfiq to all of those who are supporting your path and working on your path. And oh Allah, tomorrow is also the day of Friday. We beg you, oh Allah, please hasten in the reappearance of our 12th Imam. وصلى الله على محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.